Well. Is it working? Let's see if there's any folks online. I'm in Lake Como, Italy. And just got here today. How many folks have we got? I think we got about 8. What's up, people? Who's here? Ben's here. What's up, Ben? Good to see you. Put on the old glasses. I'm not sure how good the network's here, so you guys can let me know if it's working well. If you can hear me okay and that kind of stuff. Internet seems best in the lobby of my place here. What's going on out here? Folks eating dinner. How about now? Am I back? Any luck? 38 people online, 61 people online. Seems like I work as long as I stay here in the lobby of this place. Just let me know if it's working now. If there's any issues, I am back. Okay, cool. Volume pretty low. I'll just talk clearer, louder. Happy Sunday, says Doug Ward. Bad sound, says Pedro. Don't move, says James. So we got to Lake Como today. I've got a clinic in Milan tomorrow. And we decided we would come up here and stay for the day. And just chill for the night. Kind of got here in time for the sunset, have some dinner or that kind of thing. Because it's only about 45 minutes outside of Milan. So, and I've never been here, so. Tita Pat says, what you doing? Use the ears like last week. You know what, I don't have them down here right now, and the iPad's kind of low on juice, so just bear with me. Sorry, I know it kind of sucks. Next week I'll be back home, and we'll be back to microphones and quality sound and stuff like that, but yeah, I am going to kind of phone it in this week, because I'm in this amazing spot, and I just kind of want to get out and take a look around this town. Ben says, how's the travel? It's been pretty awesome. Germany was amazing. I did Guitar Summit, and I did a master class there for just a small number of guys, and also a clinic that was just packed, so that was rad. I put up a picture on my Instagram from it. It was probably one of my biggest ones I've done so far. It was maybe 250 people or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it was great. And so many nice people. It was awesome. I got to hang with Chris Buck. I actually got to play with Paul Gilbert and Billy Sheehan last night. Paul Gilbert, Billy Sheehan, Stu Ham, Chris Buck, and of course Thomas from Blue Guitar. And Thomas, you know, he puts on the whole event, and he's a great guitar player as well, so it was really fun. How was Paul Gilbert, says Kurt LeBlanc. He was awesome. He did a set with his band that was killer, and the guy's amazing. You know, he's such an interesting musician. He's really not a one-trick pony. He's got a really massive vocabulary on the guitar, and you know, like for instance, he was sound checking yesterday, and you know, it came time for me to check my guitar or whatever, and I think I went before him, and I just, you know, I was playing AC/DC riffs or something, and of course it gets to him, and he plays some 70s TV theme, front to back. I didn't even recognize what show it was, but I knew it, and I recognized it, and he played this. It's just like, this guy's crazy, and anyway, it was really great. And Billy, I got to talk with Billy for quite a while in the dressing room afterwards, and he, I guess, almost ended up playing bass with Max Webster, great Canadian band. Anybody, you know, Ben Coombs will know who they are. Kim Mitchell, of course. If anybody's Canadian, they'll know him. But anyway, Billy, he was from Buffalo, and he knows all about all Canadian rock and roll and stuff. It was just so cool, and we were just talking about all kinds of musicians from Canada and bands and stuff. Anyway, it was a blast. At one point, I played a solo in we played Voodoo Child, and I did a kind of spacey, like bring it way down, you know, almost Gilmore-esque sort of solo or something. Everybody's shredding and wailing. I was like, what am I going to do different? So I turned on a Univibe and a delay. And I actually was really happy with the way I played. I kind of forgot for a minute. I just walked to the front and was like, I'm playing with heroes of mine here, and I can't get lost in that, or I'm going to just get intimidated. And I just did my own thing and tried to play melodic and, I don't know, come up with something that would be unique. And I felt really happy about what I ended up playing. And then I turned around and both those guys were standing there, Billy and Paul, right beside one another, just kind of big, tall guys, just kind of grinning, you know. And I said, what the hell am I doing up here with you guys? And they just laughed. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. And they couldn't have been nicer. Just, it was really fun. Anyways, lots of fun in Germany. Simone says, hi Pete, welcome to Italy. Where will we meet you? Well, okay, so the gigs I put on my Facebook. So on my Facebook music pages, there's the times of the gigs in Rome and Naples. So they're all posted up there, just a couple posts down. You'll find the exact times and places, locations of the gigs. Paul didn't wear his headphones. Randy's wondering if Paul wears headphones. He wears earplugs, and he plays pretty loud, actually. He's got two Marshall SLPs up there that I think he's using overdrive pedals for his main distortion. What a mid-rangey sound he has. A lot of mids, like real thick mids. I'm not sure what he uses for gain. He had a little pedal board there, but I didn't really get a chance to check it out. But he also, James says Paul is a jukebox. Yeah, totally. This memory of music is crazy. But he had an orange cabinet on stage in front of him, like a 112 that was pointing up at him. And then he had a 412 in the back with the two heads. I heard Jeff Beck does that as well. I guess has a guitar cab kind of down in front of him for like a sort of a la on stage monitoring, you know, like pointing up at his face. And it was pretty ripping loud, I have to say. I was surprised because I thought he would play quieter. But he is wearing plugs of some sort, so I don't think he's got in-ears or anything. It's just like plugs. Can you make another pedal board video, please? I love the last one you did, says Tilda Pat. I would, but it's like kind of the same board and nothing's really changed that much. So I just thought, you know, if I revamp the board completely, I should do that. I should actually probably make a pedal board video of my Helix HX effects because I'm using it so much now. I've got some sounds and stuff. Thanks for being at Guitar Summit, says Robbie Rob a lot in Mannheim. Great presentation. See you next year. Thanks, man. Hey, Peter, you a fan of Jeff Beck? He just played Hollywood Bowl with Rod Stewart at 75. I saw a little video from the show and he sounded great. I'm sad I missed that show, actually, because when I saw it announced, I wanted to go, and then I didn't realize it was actually while I was away, but you can't do everything, I guess. Rabia's Clinic is also on YouTube. Awesome sound, says Marty. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't get to see him there, actually. I know him a little bit, but I didn't. To be honest, I didn't even realize he was there. And then I totally just missed him yesterday, and I didn't get to see him, unfortunately. But yeah, crazy warm for. Hey guys, sorry, I think it's back now. Yeah, it's working again. It's probably just gonna be a little sketchy here. So I'm not gonna stay on too long anyway, because we want to look around this town. So I'll sit in a different place here and see if it gets any better over here. Sunday Live is dead. Hopefully not for long. Look at that look on Pete's face when the video froze. Reflective. Yeah, sorry guys. I'll stay and see if I can make it work for like a half an hour or something, but then I'm gonna get out of here and go for a walk and stuff. Anyways, 3 more clinics. Once again, if anybody's in Italy now, please come see me. I'll be tomorrow. I'm in Milan, and then Rome the following day, and Naples the next day. Then I'm gonna take a couple days off in Naples and chill there for a bit, and head on home after that. So next Sunday I'll be back at home. And or would that be? Is that right? Let's see, what day is it today? I think I am. I'm back by next Sunday. 6. Somebody tell me what day of the week the 6th is next week, because I'll be back on the 6th. Is that? I'm gonna take a look right now. Let's see. Of course, that's Sunday. So yeah, I'm gonna have to postpone it and do a Monday one next week. I can't believe I'm out for another week. Actually, I thought I would be back, but yeah, I don't get back until the 6th. So yeah, I'll be on a. Oh no, wait! I get back the 6th, but am I gonna want to do a live stream that night? No, I don't know. I will be back in time. I don't know. You guys, I don't know. This is so boring. Sorry, it's been one day. I will be back in time to actually do it. It's just a question of no, I won't, because I'll be traveling and I get jet lag. I'll be back on the 6th in the afternoon or evening, so too late to do it. So I'll postpone it next week until Monday, and then we will be back to regular programming. I promise I'll be more in the zone, the old live stream zone. Paul Gilbert played an interesting style where he always changed between his bottleneck and his fingers. Yeah, he's really into the slide, and I came over to him and pointed at his guitar when we were doing sound check, and I said, "Cool, you know, it's crazy looking. It's like a purple Iceman style guitar, and with 3 mini humbuckers." And then he grabbed a slide and handed it to me, and I was like, and I put it on my finger, and then he grabbed it and he stuck it back on his guitar, and it's got these 3 magnets on the face of the guitar, and it just goes bam, it sticks right on the guitar, and that's how he keeps the slide. I don't know. He's a funny guy. What a thing. I'd never thought of that, like holding a slide on the front of the guitar with magnets. It's a pretty cool idea. Okay, finally some guitar questions. What's the best sounding amp simulator for the money? Do you mean a plug-in, or do you mean like a a Helix or whatever? Tell me what kind of amp simulator you want. There's some terrific plugins out there. Somebody's up in the top chat. Who's that? It's Daniel. Don't know if you like truffles, but it's nearly high season for them in northern Italy. Here's some spare change for your Italian food fund. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I will try truffles if I come across some. Maybe tomorrow night for dinner. I'll be in Milan tomorrow, so maybe we'll go out and where that big cathedral is and stuff in the center of town. Maybe we can go there and find some truffles tomorrow. I already ate dinner tonight. It was amazing. Right beside the lake. Anyway, amp simulators. As far as plugins go, I love the Brainworks stuff. They did my plugin, and I'm a big fan. And before they ever did my plugin, I was a fan of the Friedman BE100 and DS40. I think those are terrific. So check out those as far as if you mean amp simulator plugins. Did you do the sound mixing for the YouTube videos of Ian Thornley and others from the SUR 2015-2016 factory gigs? I did the one where I'm playing with Ian. I mixed that recording. But I didn't do the 2015 ones. That was Don, who works at SUR. And he's a pretty damn good mixer, actually. I think he did it. The STL tonality plugins are great. I haven't tried those. Somebody's mentioning those. Thumbs up for Pete Thorn Marathon. Thanks. It's been an amazing trip. I'm having a great time, but it is a kind of a marathon. It's been a lot of driving, a lot of cars on this trip. Today we flew here from Germany, and this is the first time I've been on a plane since coming over here. Everything else has been cars and trains, mostly cars. So it's a lot of driving around Europe. Almost bought a cider yesterday. Pete likes cider, says SD Design. I do. I like the cider. I haven't had a cider for a while. It's really hard to find in Germany unless you go to an Irish pub. Easy to find in the UK, of course. When you learn to play in a touring band, you learn songs off their vocal cues or from the music. From the music. That's Hollywood Jake Speed. Yeah, I can play, generally speaking, most songs I'll be able to play with no vocal. And many times that way, the real singer doesn't even come in and rehearse usually for some of the gigs that you get. You'll have to kind of rehearse instrumentally for a few days before the artist even comes in. So you've got to know the arrangement, generally speaking, without anybody singing. Some people find that difficult. I've never found that difficult, but anyways, good idea to definitely nail down arrangements with no vocals. Hello from Seattle. Do you subscribe to the idea that you can evaluate the quality of a guitar by how it sounds or resonates unplugged? Well, definitely, yeah, you want it to sound good unplugged. I'm a big believer in that. It has to sound pretty good unplugged for it to work with pickups. If it doesn't sound, if it sounds dead unplugged, I don't believe you can make it sound good with just electronics or whatever. Vanjard says, "Hi Pete, as a Dutch guy, I'm still super stoked to see you do the Sunday live chat from the Netherlands. I'm glad you liked it here. It was beautiful. That was amazing. And it's hard to believe that that was a week ago already, and it feels like a long time ago at the same time, if that makes sense." We got zillions of Irish pubs in every city in Germany. Just saying. Yeah, I guess there is. That's fun. Well, it was hard for me to find one in Mannheim. I never saw one close to my hotel. Yeah, I didn't see one Irish pub around the Guitar Summit. I'm sure they're there. I just didn't see one. I know lots, and I know Nuremberg. I know one, and yeah, for sure they're around. But my knees hurt. Just found a beer in the fridge. Drink it. Hi Pete, saw you at Sweetwater's Gear Fest earlier this year, says Logan. That was fun. Isn't ice cider big in Canada? I don't know. That's Robbie. What's up, Robbie? That's a good question. I haven't spent enough time there recently to know what the booze trends are. Question, is IR just a new version of modeling amps so manufacturers can sell new amps? Would it be better to buy a good valve amp and pedals? Well, an IR isn't really a modeling amp. It's an impulse response is a way to model a physical space or something within a physical space. So the first time I ever heard about IR was convolution reverbs. It's convolution is what impulse responses are. And the first time I ever heard about it was a plugin called Altiverb. And Altiverb was, basically they'd model a bunch of spaces like churches, cathedrals, concert halls, your bathroom, whatever. And you could kind of bottle that space and turn it into a plugin. Essentially, it was like that. So, is it something upside down? Am I upside down right now? I don't think so. I hope not. It's right side up for me. Anyways, impulse responses people quickly were able to figure out. You could model a guitar speaker and bottle sound of that speaker with a microphone on it and capture it, including early reflections and things, all the kind of characteristics of what that speaker sounds like with a microphone on it and the room around it. So it doesn't really have anything to do with amp modeling. It's more modeling a physical space or a speaker in a physical space. So, yeah, it's kind of a different thing really than modeling amps. I have an HX Effects and want to run front of house. You mean you want to run it to the front of house? Now I got a problem. Phone's gonna, or iPad's gonna run out of juice here. I'm just gonna, I think, maybe steal this power. One sec here, guys. I want to plug in my iPad. There we go. Okay. Somebody's up in the top chat. It's Mike. He says, watching Hunger Strike live musician. Which part? I don't remember. The part that I play is in first position. It's funny because the way that Hunger Strike was actually played on the record is not the way that custom wants. It was like the throw part that runs through the verses and stuff. There's a way to play it on the D, G, and B strings, and then there's also a way to play it on the D and the G string with kind of a pull-off move. And that's the way that the Temple guys did it. And I asked Chris, I go, do you like it like this or like this? And I played it both ways. And he goes, no, doing it, which is not the way it was actually played on the record, but it has a more kind of ringy quality to it, and he likes it played that way. He was like, no, that's the way that I wrote it, but the way that maybe it was Mike McCready or something that the other way, but he actually said he preferred the. So it's kind of funny that you reminded me of that, but I did ask him about that. But I'm not. I never really climb up the neck on that song for the part I played. Yogi did though. He went up and played that kind of like the melody part that runs up the neck. Anyways, yeah. It's fun to travel by proxy with you along this entire trip. I wish I could show you more. It's really beautiful outside, but go to my Instagram if you want to see a few photos I took and a couple videos in my story and stuff. And they're on there. They should have good wine there, says Braxel. Yeah, I would think so. We are in Italy. I'm gonna go walk around the town and stuff in about half an hour here. I'm just gonna chill with you guys for a bit and then go out. Gotta see what's up out there. See any especially cool bars at the show? Renjit says. I saw a few. There's that one guy out there from Finland that makes guitars. I did him in the video I did on the show last year, the Mannheim show, and he builds like fuzzes and stuff into guitars, which is really cool. It's like a guitar with a fuzz pedal built in. They've got a really cool, neat look to them, kind of relict, and I like his guitars a lot. I'm spacing on his name right now, but I might have him make something for me eventually. So he does some pretty cool stuff. Does John Sir know how many of the PT15IR amps he will ultimately build? Is it ever decided up front or based on the sales? Well, until they discontinue something, I mean, they're still making amps like the Badger, which has been out since 2006 or 7 now, so they just keep making them, and PT100 is the same way, so keep making them, so you don't ever know how many you're going to build, I guess, until the day comes when you're like, it's time to discontinue this thing. Somebody wants to know if Britt is coming to Italy. She's coming to visit me, yeah, she's coming over, leaving now. She's going to be in Rome for a day by herself, and then I'll join her in Rome after I leave Milan the day after tomorrow. So, Pete rocking Italy, chicken brown cow, says Metalhead Hippie. What's up, dude? Up in the top chat. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for doing that. Good following your IG stuff. Thanks for all the great stuff. It inspires. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Welcome to my home country, says Marco. Thank you. Good to be here. I'm stoked. Thanks for showing up, you guys, this week. I know it's kind of chaotic with the iPad and everything, but like I say, next week we'll get back to regular scheduled programming. I guess I'll do, like I say, a Monday night. And I'll be back in the studio. What else did I see at Guitar Summit that was cool? Somebody's in the top chat. SD Design says, Buongiorno. What kind of wall treatments do I use to not annoy neighbors with music? That's tough, man. It's hard. I mean, you can dampen things down a little bit, but there ain't no way to make it quiet. You have to build walls to do that. And if you're moving to an apartment, you can't really do that. What I did when I lived in a place with a shared wall is I buried a cabinet in the closet. I elevated it off the ground and I surrounded it with stuff that I got from ATS Acoustics. It's kind of foam panels that are like, like studio walls, you can get 4-by-4-inch thick or 2-inch thick foam, and kind of covered in stuff that looks like burlap or whatever. And surround a cab with those and stick it in a closet. I mean, or use some sort of ISO cabinet or something. But beyond that, you're not going to play music really loud, and there's no way to do it really. It's just it takes mass, and you have to build walls, stuff them with rock wool, lots of black wall, green glue, and a double wall is really the way to do it. With building a room within a room, essentially floating the floor and all that. If you want to get really quiet, there's no other way. Daniel says, if you get to check out the town of Bellagio, same spelling as the casino in Vegas, but a lovely town there on Lake Como. I wish I was going to get a chance. Maybe tomorrow morning we take a little drive around. Yeah, mass is one of the best ways to stop sound, says Schultz. Yeah, just you need mass essentially. a substitute for that. Mass and air. That's why, when you put an air gap in a wall between two walls, so you've got, a couple layers of drywall, 2x4 wall, stuff it with insulation, and a couple layers of drywall with green glue maybe in between the drywall and stuff, and then you get an air gap, and then you build another wall after that, same thing. What makes it through the first wall hits that air gap and it slows it down or whatever, and then the next wall hopefully brings it down to a dull nothing. Patch cable. Now on this tour for my pedalboard is made out of Providence cable. I really like it. It's very thin and sounds really good. But I'm not really picky. I don't really believe in like directional cables and all that stuff. Generally speaking, I'll use good quality, if it's like Planet Waves or equivalent kind of cables, something low capacitance, so that there's not any, or there's always going to be some high end loss, but I don't like the cables to roll off a ton of top end, so low capacitance. ATS Acoustics is SD Design. Thanks, I will look that up. Yeah, check them out if you need some acoustic panels, treatment, things for walls to kind of deaden the bounce and stuff, but it's not really going to make the sound get quiet or like eliminate those kind of low end and things that's going to rumble through walls and cause you problems with neighbors. So just want to give you the sort of the realistic story. I want to get that stuff you put on your studio, says SP Design. The panels in my studio are custom made, but before that, before I had my studio, going back 2 studios actually, I had panels from ATS Acoustics, and they do a really nice job, and they're relatively inexpensive, so I think they're a nice deal. Let's see. There's somebody from Italy in Atlanta, Georgia. Pete, how are my people? Well, good so far. I just got here, but I'm having a good time. Do you have a favorite modern fuzz or fuzz pedal builder? Well, a couple of my favorite ones are the BAE Hot Fuzz. I love that thing. It's got a treble booster built in as well as a fuzz. I love it. It's a great pedal. Crazy Tube Circuit Starlight. I always recommend that one for people that aren't fuzz lovers or aficionados. They don't get fuzz. It's more like a overdrive or distortion at lower levels, and then as you turn it up, it really becomes a fuzz. It's just a great sound. So I like that pedal, and then the Rufus is also really nice from Sir. So those are some good ones. Clinch FX from Australia make a thing called the TX Fuzz, and that's my favorite modern fuzz face. Amazing sounding pedal. Let's see. Tim Berry says Metropolitan Museum of Art's Play It Loud is ending on October 1st here in New York City. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it. Next time when you're in, oh man, come on. What specific guitar would you lend to the exhibit that most defines you? I don't know. Jeez, that's a heavy question. I don't feel like my career's long enough. I guess my signature one. But that's for Jimmy Page and Eddie Van Halen and stuff. Estes ate a meatball sub for lunch and spaghetti for dinner. Viva Italy. Mike says he got panels from ATS on my recommendation. Really improved the dampening in the room. Live rehearsals are much improved. Don't know if it quietened things outside the room. Yeah. Can't say that I could disagree with any of that. Time mark 30 minutes is Ben Coombs. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, I'll go about 45 and then I'll split. Today's going to be a short one. I love Rome. Hope you and Britt have a blast, says Gary. Thanks, Gary. Yeah, it should be fun. Don't ask for spaghetti and meatballs. Says Gabriel. I won't. It's going to be all about pizza, I think. Getting to Naples. How's the coffee? I only have one at the airport so far, so I'll let you know after tomorrow morning. helps if you have cool neighbors for the sound. Yeah, that's true. Says Mark. Definitely. That's for sure. 150 online. How's it going? Did you see the Tone King's video about modular effects pedal pods? I didn't. No, is it like, who makes them? Finally getting some good sounds from the Sir PT100 plug-in. Probably mostly pilot error earlier. Thanks for doing Sunday Live. Have I ever tried Orchard Ginger Cider? I have not. I'd like to give that a try. Sometimes the ginger cider's a little spicy for me or something. I don't know. But I'll try it. See it. Yeah, the PT100 plug-in, my best advice is you gotta run bright on the dirty channels for sure. And you can kind of turn the gain up higher than you might on the actual amp. Run the bass on 4, the mids on 5, treble on 6 or 6.5, the presence on 5 or 6, and then the feedback turn it down to about 4, and I really like that. Yeah. What do you do when you feel like you're getting in a musical rut? I usually buy a lesson from somebody. There's so many great ones now, like an online lesson. I always recommend Jam Track Central. Go there and pick a cool lesson from somebody like, somebody really musical, like Matthias or Laurie. They've got nice lessons that I bought from there. And just learn some cool licks. Knock you out of your standard phrasing stuff. Have I tried the new flow picks, and what do I think of that Van Halen video? Are you talking about the Van Halen video from '78? It's really cool. I like that one a lot. Flow picks I haven't tried, not yet. There's a Nerd Halen shirt waiting for you at home. Oh, thank you, sir. Maybe we'll ask Vito Brada about soundproofing. Yeah, go over there, knock on his door, see how he likes that. When in Rome, I recommend a coffee and an Aperol Spritz breakfast with a view of the Pantheon. That sounds pretty good. Aperol Spritz breakfast. Okay, I'll admit I had one tonight. I was with Nigel from Sir, and he said, "Oh, this is just like being with my wife." I said, "Thank you." Aperol Spritz. Italy, come on. It's Prosecco, for God's sakes. Is your 12-string guitar is tuned standard? See you tomorrow evening, says Andrea. I don't know. Which one? Like acoustic 12-string or my electrics? I'll kind of tune into whatever I have to get a part done, generally speaking. I've got 2 Dan Electro electric 12s, and I have a Taylor acoustic 12. The Taylor was usually living in E flat or even in D, because I play with Don Henley when I was playing with him. It's probably tuned up to standard now. If you're in a rut, change your stuff up. Play different tunings, play left-handed, play music you don't like. Yeah, exactly. Mix it up. Maybe jam with some drum grooves, put on some drums. Yeah. Have I tried one with Rob Chapman's pedals? No, I haven't, but I heard about them. And I'm going to demos of them, actually. When I was at Anderton's in the UK, they asked me if I would do them. And I said, sure. So I think that'll be happening pretty soon. For studio use, which Helix system do you recommend, pedal boards or racks? I actually use my Helix rack mostly in the studio, and I have the floorboard controller set up under my desk. But they're both the same, and they'll get you the same sounds. Even the plug-in is essentially the same. So I wouldn't, it's nice having the thing in the rack. One thing I love about it is the great big tuner in the rack. It's got a kind of a strobe. And I use it actually in the studio, so that's really nice, seeing it right in front of me. But the added advantage of having the floor one is, of course, you can take it with you anywhere. And most of the time editing anyway, I'm doing it on the editor. I've just got it USB'd up all the time, and I don't even think about it now. If I'm going to make a sound in there or I want to tweak something, I just pull up the computer editor, and try and do it on the unit itself. So I would probably say, having said all that, if I could only have one, I would have the floor one, because then you're going to be able to take it places and it'll be portable. Does lifting weights and exercise get in the way of your playing? My hands get stiff if I work out hard, says Daniel. I don't work out that hard. but I could see that it would. Yeah, you definitely have to be careful. Just be careful. Don't overdo it. Would be the main advice. Work up the thing slowly. Just be a little bit more careful than you would if you weren't a musician. Um, and just go easy on yourself because you need your hands. Yep. Thank you for your answers, says Harley. You bet. Wait, Chapman guitars make pedals now. Yes, they do. They've got a couple pedals out. Marcus told us yesterday on Guitar Summit he records his guitar sound using a plexi at maximum volume. Is that really necessary to get a dynamic sound? Besides killing their neighbors. There's nothing quite like the sound of one of those amps cranked up to 8 or 10. It's so dynamic, and you can roll the volume up and down on the guitar, and it does amazing things, and the way it responds to effects and fuzzes and drives. It's a sound that you can't get any other way, really. And when you back down the volume, like say using a post-phase inverter master, it doesn't really respond the same way, although it's really good still. So, generally speaking, I don't even think necessarily on 10 is the best way for a lot of sounds. It's like, for a lot of sounds, just turning it up to 8 or 9, backing the presence down to about 8 as well can make it a little bit more, tame it just enough to make it not crazy, But it is an incredible tone, dynamic tone. Have I ever jammed with a bunch of jazz musicians, says Alan? I wouldn't say a bunch. Certainly one or two at a time. I have. They'll generally make fun of me because I have no jazz chops. Let's see. Not sure if I would ever sell anything named snake oil. Do your earplugs when you play that loud? I'm not a fan of earplugs in playing guitar. Generally, I'll just try and get away from the amp. My knees hurt, says, or do you isolate the amp? Yeah, you kind of isolate the amp, or use a baffle or screen or something. It's funny. Steve Stevens plays really loud, and I went to see him do his Deadland Ritual gig recently, and I sat in on the rehearsals, and he has plexi panels like Joe Bonham also uses in front of the cabs, and so he's got a 200-watt amps, or 50-watt and 100-watt, both BEs, and they're up loud, like really loud, like making full power. But as soon as you put up those plexi panels, it's really controlled. I mean, you can stand right in front of them, and it's still quite loud. It's just diffused. And it doesn't, it blocks the beam and most of the stuff that would probably do damage to your hearing. And it's just great. Is it everyone there on vacation seems busy in the background for a Sunday? It is quite busy outside of the hotel here. I guess it's just maybe popular. There's a lot of people that think it's not high time or high season or anything like that. I think it's just probably that's the way this place is. It's just popular. Are you visiting the Sistine Chapel before you split Italy? I probably won't have time. I'm only in Rome for the afternoon. That's SD Design. I never made it to the Sistine Chapel because 10 years ago was the last time I was in Rome, and it was closed. I remember we went to the Colosseum in the Vatican that day, but we never made it to the Sistine Chapel, unfortunately. So it goes when you're on tour in a band. You don't get to see everything. Now that the Sur PT15 is out, is there anything you would like to develop or work on next, says Benjamin? Probably something pedal-based, also, just a bigger version of the amp, higher power, maybe 50 watt. We've been talking about that for ages, so it's just a matter of kind of when. Yeah. Let's see. I often wish some crazy rich person had a vaulted ceiling I could paint on, says Mute That Bozer. First gig that Alan ever went to was Steve Hackett. He had a 50 and 100 Marshall head each on a 412 cab. His ears were ringing for 2 days. Yeah, I can tend to hurt you. Yeah, that's for sure. If you did it night after night for a long time, a couple of years anyway, sure. Do I have a favorite modern fuzz or fuzz pedal builder, says Metalhead Hippie? Yeah, I mentioned earlier BAE Hot Fuzz. the BAE, like Butters BAE Hot Fuzz, and Crazy Tube Circuit Starlight, and the Clinch FX from Australia. People that make the EP Pre have one called the TX Fuzz that I love. If they still make it, I'm not sure. Ask PRS what excites him about music these days. What is his vision of the future of guitar? Says Mike to Stephen Douglas. Oops, sorry, says Billy. Nothing to be sorry for. You have no apologies to make. It's okay. Who else we got here? Dallas. Have you had a chance to check out the Empress Zola yet? Any chance we see a demo of it someday? I'd be happy to do it. I've done a lot of demos for people, but not that one in particular. I haven't checked it out. But I'd be happy to. How's everything going at the clinics, says Max? Really good. I felt like I really got into a flow over the last couple of weeks. And especially, cramming the full hour and a half clinic into 45 minutes or so yesterday in Mannheim. It's a challenge, but I feel like I pretty much did it, so that's good. It was a really well attended one. It was packed up there, so I was happy about that. But yeah, the clinics are going good. People seem to be really stoked on them. I hope that when people leave, they're motivated to go write and record some music of their own. That's my main goal. Yep. Some cool guitar-oriented music of their own. Am I still using H9, says John Cruz. Yep, 2 on my board. Love them. Keep on using them. You bet. For the time being, anyway. Acme Brand says he just got back from a wedding in time to catch a Pete live. What's up? I'm sorry the beginning was shaky, but I seem to have found a good spot here where the network's good. Who's Pete going on tour with next year? He is missing Winter NAMM. So yeah, I'm not going to be there in January and February. Some friends of mine that do a show in the UK called, do you guys know the people that do Brit Floyd? Or the Australian Pink Floyd as they were formerly known. And then they did Brit Floyd. They have a thing called the Classic Rock Show, and they've asked me to join for that. So it's basically like epic rock songs, and I'm going to go over and play with them in January and February. It's all in the UK, so it'll be all over the place. Like, I think it's everywhere in the UK, Scotland, Wales, and everywhere included. So it's going to be really interesting because I've never been around there that much. I mean, I've been there a couple times in the last few months, but I've never done the whole thing and played everywhere. And, this is like, theaters kind of all over the UK. So it'll probably be real cold, but it's going to be fun. It's a lot of good music. Steven says, that's a good one. I think he's really getting into playing more recently. Paul's band is great. I'm talking about Paul Gilbert, you guys, I think. Sorry, I'm late, says Cujo. It's okay, dude. What's happening? We got 171 people online. This always happens. So I start getting more people as I want to get towards the end. All right, I'm gonna go a full hour then. I'll go till 1 hour and then I'm gonna sign off so that I can go see this town because I only got one night here. And thanks for sharing all your updates, Cujo. You bet. It's been fun. You use a noise gate. If you don't, how do you manage noise and hiss when combining a tube screamer with dirt channel? I do actually use a little noise gate that I bought for $20 or something. I think it was used in a store in Tokyo, and I have it in the effects loop on my switcher that the Archer pedal is in. So I run it after the Archer, going into the PT100, and I'll just use it only on the lead channel. And it's set pretty, like if I've got the guitar up, it doesn't kick in. If I roll the guitar volume all the way off, then it kicks in. So it's just for when there's breaks in the music and I've got the volume down on the guitar, but it's switched to that preset. Sometimes it can be a little out of control. Your show at Station Music was great, thanks. Yeah, that was fun. The Station one was really good. Those people were nice. What a store that is, too. It's crazy. Dan says, word up from Minneapolis. What's happening?
interested in that trade I mentioned about the Mesa Boogie 50 caliber head. That's Acme brand. Maybe, yeah. Hit me up when I get back to LA. You know, see what's what. Does Italy have smog? LA is smoggy last time I visited. I mean, any big city pretty much these days is kind of smoggy. I'm sure Rome, you know, probably. Yeah. What's the difference in 100 watt versus 50 and 40 watt combo with overdrive pedals? Says Zach. Well, 100 watts going to give you more headroom. So you're going to have more clean headroom, deal with more punch, less sag, that kind of thing. Some people like that, you know, the high headroom clean amp thing, kind of the John Mayer formula, I guess. And a lot of people like that these days. I guess it's kind of the Dumble thing, really, in general. You know, so that your notes have a lot of articulation, punch, not too squishy, you know, collapse is easy. Favorite overdrive pedal of all times is High Hopes. Well, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I really like the Archers. I like the Fawn. I bond with that sound quite a bit. And I like the Jan Ray a lot too. I got that on my board as well as other things I just off the top of my head. The King of Tone is a really great sound, especially on the orange side, the clean side. I love that sound. Prince of Tone or King of Tone, I love. You're in my country. You can talk louder. We all do. Really? I was kind of purposely talking quiet because I'm in the lobby of the hotel. I don't want to bother anybody, but that's good to know. Thank you. Hello from Austin, says Jacques. What's up, Austin? What's happening in Austin? No, that hippie says he runs an ISP2 decimator. That's a noise gate type noise reduction device, right? In the loop and cut out the pregame volume hiss. Can I run? Well, you're asking. Yeah, you can run those in the loop, I think. I'm pretty sure. Any news on a Seattle or Pacific Northwest clinic? I'd love to go to Portland and Seattle, but sorry, I don't know anything yet. We're working on some other stuff, mainly Asia. Can I tell the difference with the bridge back cover off on your guitar? Like tone? No, I don't think so. I've never listened, but no, I don't think so. Recommend you go see The Town. I'm going to do it. Another, what are we at, 49? Another 10 minutes, then I'm going to jet and I'll go check out this town. Hi Pete, can overboosting an amp make it sag? Yes. Yeah, anytime you're clipping an amp, pushing into it real hard, it's going to run into its limits at some point, and then it's going to start to collapse. It'll be a great sound. Pete Thorn's favorite Italian car? Lamborghini? Yeah, I guess. Maybe Ferrari. Maybe Lamborghini. Have I ever met John Jorgensen? I don't think so. No. Best way to hit me up when I get back to LA, just send me an email. There's a contact form on my website for email. Contact me, Brand. Best way. The latest updates of the Helix have both Prince of Tone and King of Tone, and they really do kick ass. Do they really? I didn't even know that. See, it's been a minute since I do. I don't do updates right away, that's for sure. I kind of wait a year, and then I do them just in case there's issues. But you saying they both really do it justice. That's great to know. I'm going to try those. That's some of my favorite pedals for sure. Sherbuel is in the top chat, and he's in Europe, and hey man, I appreciate that. Thank you. You didn't ask a question. Let's see. Raging Chimera says, managed to get errands done in time to pop in and say hi. What's up? Any chance you're coming to Rome? Yes, that's Christian. The date is the day after tomorrow, whatever day that is. I think it's the 1st, I think. And the date and time, location and time will be on my website. Sorry, not on my website, on my Facebook page. That's what I meant. So if you go to my Facebook music page, there's an date on there that's got the Italian clinics, the locations and the times. Actually, Pete, I was talking about PRS's band, not Gilbert. That's Steven. Okay, you were talking about Paul's band. Sorry. Got it. Did you try the Fender Hot Rod DeVille Michael Landau amp? I heard it at NAMM. That's the only time I heard it, when I saw it demonstrated there. But I've heard Mike play through it, I guess, at the Spud, Baked Potato. Have ever met and jammed with him? Yeah, he's kind of a buddy. He's super cool. As a matter of fact, he always is nice enough to put me on the list when he plays in LA, and I can go down and sit there and hang. I've known his wife. I've actually known before him, going back to, oh God, I don't know, over 15 years and stuff. So they're really nice people, and they'll let me, sit with their group and stuff like that. But if he plays Baked Potato, and it's always really amazing. Usually be me and, all the guitar geeks there, John Shanks and people like that, and just getting our minds blown by Mike. What usual coffee choice does Pete Thorn wake up to? Says Nerd Halen. I'm all over the map. I've been trying to buy more organic coffee these days because I really like Pete's Major Dickinson's. It's just my kind of go-to, grocery store coffee. But it's not organic, and I believe like this, stuff that's spraying pesticides on beans and all that. And also there's the kind of I don't know, like the whole thing about, I like to buy brands that are good to the coffee farmers and stuff like that. It's, all that fair trade coffee and stuff and organic. So these days I'll shop at Whole Foods and buy the Allegro stuff that's like organic, fair trade. Probably not the greatest coffee in the world, but it's good enough for me. Yeah. Check out GNR on tour, saw the opener in Charlotte on Wednesday night. Huge energy, although Axel's voice is lost in punch, a little soft, he still hits the notes. Softer tone, band is tight. Yeah, I mean, they've been at it for since 2016 or something, doing the reunion thing, I think. Isn't that amazing? It's been a few years. And Fortis is an amazing guitar player. And they can all play, that's for sure. They're probably all better players than they've ever been at this point. Duff and Slash totally rips. I think Slash got better, over the years. Oops, missed the question on my top chat. Did you try the Fender Hot Rod DeVille? That's true, but yeah. So the only time I ever heard it was at. I don't even think I played through. They had a guy demoing it, and it was at NAMM. But I've heard Mike play through it at the Baked Potato. Go to the Vatican and teach the Pope some riffage. He doesn't want to learn anything from me. No. I got an HX Stomp, considering purchasing some own hammer IRs, but not sure which to get. Typically choose Marshall Soldano PT100 BE type sounds. We'll get the Friedman cabs, I would say, and then maybe also check out the Guns N' Roses cab, because it's really good. He's got a Marshall cab that was used by, I don't know, I guess whoever was in the band when they recorded Chinese Democracy. Those ones sound really good to me, but the Friedman ones do too, so those are the own hammers I would recommend. Do you usually use the high cut on the IRs on the Helix? No, I don't actually. I know a lot of people do that, but I don't do it. Pete's coffee, generally a good roast. Yeah, I like Pete's coffee. It tastes good to me. I don't know, sort of for some reason. Everyone is talking about HX and Helix. It's good stuff. It really is. Can you change channel and IRs by MIDI on the PT15? So have you tried doing that with the Helix? It's not MIDI, it's just a TRS jack. You can program which IR you want to come on per channel, but it doesn't do it via MIDI. We went for a simple TRS foot switch. Or you can switch it using, why did we do that? So I've had a couple of people ask me, well, it's like every single switcher on the market these days has control switching jacks with a TRS cable, So it just seemed like MIDI was like going to be an added expansion of the board. It's a little more to add MIDI. It's just a little more complicated. So it would have added to the cost of the amp a little bit. And we're like, let's just do TRS. So, a lot of people, you put MIDI on it, and then a lot of people are like, oh, it's too complicated. You take MIDI off, and some people are like, oh, I wanted MIDI. But I think if you've got, long story short, a switcher, you're going to be able to switch it using the TRS cable coming out of the control switch jacks. Oh, Nerd Halen, you're the dude. I was able to get Britt a spot in line for Green Day Whiskey show. She was super cool, and it was my pleasure. Dude, she had such a good time, and you were such a big help. So I got to personally thank you. That's right, I remember now. That's where I know your Nerd Halen name from. Anyways, thank you. You're a good man. She had a really great time at that show. You know, she's just the most massive fan, and she had a terrific time. So can't thank you enough. You're a kind person. Joshua says, "Hey Pete, I'm in the process of setting up a function band. Is there anything you think I ought to know? Function band, like playing like corporates and parties and things like that. I guess just get a huge set list together and get the best musicians you can. Um, that's what I would recommend. Metalhead Hippie's got to go. He says, peace. Thanks, man. Nice to see you. See you next Monday night if you can join. I'll do one of these live streams Monday. Generally speaking, I do them at around 7 p.m. Monday night. If I can't do them on Sunday, I'll do them on Monday. So that'll be next week. Can you hear a noticeable difference in quality from the analog to digital mic pre's on your universal audio interface? So that's actually grand. You're asking if I've compared a real Neve to the modeled ones. I haven't personally done that, but there's some great videos on YouTube of like them doing drum sessions and things like that, where they do exactly that, where they record the exact same thing through a bunch of Neves and then through the modeled Neves or stuff like that. So check out some of those from UA. I couldn't really hear any difference. I think they do a great job on those things. Those unison pre's are pretty incredible. I wouldn't give it a second thought, actually. I would just use them and make music. How was France's SD design? It was great. It was a little melancholy, to be honest. I love that city so much. I love Paris, and being there felt a little like, almost like, it's like seeing an old friend or something that you used to get to see all the time, and then you get to see them for 10 minutes, and you're like, oh, I don't get to spend any time with you. It's kind of like that, because I just love. I don't know. I spent 5 months there, 5.5 months in 2013. It was pretty much like living there, moving to a city, and then I spent 4 months there in 2016, just a few years after that. Now it's 2019, and I go back for 48 hours. And it was like, I don't have time to even. It's like that thing down that street right there. I'd love to go there, but I don't have time. I gotta get to, because I was really busy. I'm sound cut out. I hope it's still working. Maybe just refresh the page. Anyways, that was kind of France for me this time. But it's a good problem to have. It's a city, Paris. I love the city so much. I'd love to get back to the south, actually, go to Nice. And I love it down there. Listen to me complaining. I'm in like Como right now. So you reminded me it's time to go. I got to go out and live it up outside for a little bit, because that'd be silly if I stayed on the internet all night. You should chastise me if I was doing a place I've never been. I should go out and experience it a little bit, right? Music Therapy says, love oat milk in my coffee. Do they have that in Italy? Thanks for the tip on that. I know it's so good, right? If you guys haven't tried oat milk, go get an oat milk latte or something from your local snobby coffee place and enjoy. It's such good stuff. I'm a fan from Italy, says Valerio. I'm in Tacoma right now. I'll be in Milan tomorrow. Any last little things here? Questions? Anybody? Thanks for the humility and positive energy which you share, both your talent and knowledge. Thanks, man. That's Alex. It's inspiring. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Alan says, thanks again for sharing some of your precious time. Hey, thank you for being here. Coming and spending your time with me. Equally precious. Always insightful and humble. Thanks, man. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm going to split. Zach says use UA and save money. I agree. Save money and go, do some good work. Right? Write more songs, and UA's they're co-sponsor of my clinic over right now, so I gotta give him props. Besides that, I would anyway. It's just good stuff. It's rock solid. It always sounds great. It never breaks down, and never disconnects or hiccups. I love it. Go check out the town, says Daniel. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Once again, I'm not going to be around for Sunday because I got to be flying that day. I'm coming back. It's going to be a long day of travel. So let's do it Monday instead, a week from tomorrow. I've been pretty lazy about getting videos. Well, I'm not being lazy out here, but I've been lazy about getting videos up, so I didn't put out anything this week. I've got some stuff in the can though that just needs to be edited. I'm putting up a video about the the Fellowship of Acoustics, which is an amazing store in the Netherlands that I visited last week. And I'm making a little video about that store because it's such an amazing place to shop for a guitar, and it's got a lot of history to building and stuff. So things like the building was built, one side of it was built in 1870 and the other side in 1970s. And what else? There's a bomb shelter in the basement. It's just an amazing building, kind of a cool place to buy guitars. So that'll be going up, as well as some other stuff that I got in the works right now. So, I think it's going to be kind of a series that I do. I'm going to call it Amazing Guitar Stores, or the World's Most Amazing Guitar Stores, or something like that. And when I visit a shop, maybe doing these clinics or something, many of them are so incredible that I've done on this tour, but occasionally one will really stand out as just being like, well, this place is crazy. I'll do a video occasionally, talk about it. So, okay, folks. Thanks. Sorry for the hiccups in the beginning. It was a little bit rough start on this one, but that's just how it goes, I guess, when you're traveling. And Steven says you learned a ton over the years from my streams. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. How do I turn this thing off? I can't even tell. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes, I do. All right. See you guys.